Hey everybody, Nettie Owens back for another installment of what businesses need to know right now. I'm with Sapari Solutions and my guest today is Sensei Victoria Whitfield. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Victoria Whitfield is the world's first business Reiki master and hostess of the 5-star rated Journeypreneur podcast on iTunes. She helps empathic entrepreneurs and leaders stay grounded and clear as they navigate the emotional roller coaster of business development by using the power of strategic meditation, which we might need to just dive into that one right there. She is a published author, a successful 6-figure energy healer, and she has toured the world showing heart-centered and growth-minded leaders how to get connected to their natural intuition and truly be visionaries so they can work less and increase their impact, which as visionary healers is so important. But my question to you today, and we'll dig into this, is for those listening to go, well, how does this apply to me? I'm busy in a really big, corporation, and what do I need strategic meditation for? So I'm going to ask you that in just a minute. But my first question for you is, what do you think the number one thing holding businesses back from the growth that they desire is?
So I love this question. I love this topic. I love you. I love every single thing that is happening right now. So yay, I'm so excited to talk about this. The one thing that we need the most right now as leaders to really take our vision and business to the next level, and I see it's lacking so many times, is the energy awareness, right? We can get stagnant and begin to plateau at levels of growth and development, forward momentum and movement of the business. And you can be doing all the right things. You're doing what the consultant said to do. You're following the protocols that you've set up before in the past. You're doing all the right things as best you could, but the plateau keeps coming. And there's a certain point where it becomes more of an energetic issue rather than just systems. What do I mean by energy? By the way, this is a really important, a defining question for people to understand, especially leaders who may not be familiar with woo-woo talk, right? Because I fall into, I have to admit, a woo-woo category, even though I work.
I'm just going to pause you right there because until I started working with a business coach 4 years ago, I had never heard of the quote-unquote woo-woo category. I didn't even know what it was, and I have a feeling that there are a lot of business leaders out there who wouldn't have a clue what you're talking about as soon as you say woo-woo. Like, even that is weird, I mean, to their vocabulary. So give us a small definition of what falls into woo-woo.
Totally. So this is softer skills management. This has to do with emotional intelligence, not just IQ, but we're talking about EQ as well, measuring the level of, relatability, measuring morale in organizations, as well as when I talk about woo-woo stuff, it tends to fall also in wellness, like when you're looking in your corporation, like what are we looking at, wellness, human resources type of things that are a little bit out of the box, could come from different and divergent cultures to help maintain health and well-being outside of just a medical context, right? We're not just saying to keep you off of the operating table, but how can you live life feeling well, right? And working well, getting better and better over time. So stuff that's a little bit out of the box, comes from different cultures, according to a Western mindset, let me put it in that context, can be classified as woo. And I just want to take woo and smash it on the floor like the, brittle china that it is. Like, let it go.
Thank you. Thank you. And so much of this stuff is extremely relevant to the business environment, extremely relevant, so much so that the research that you've done and the work you've done with your clients has enabled you to help them break free from a lot of the fears, the blockages, quote unquote, that have held them back because of the strategic meditation and other methodologies that you use.
Yeah, totally. And the reason why is because strategic meditation is meditation done with purpose within a professional context. At least that's how I define it. And the reason why we do that is to manage the force behind action, the force behind focus. And that force behind focus, the force behind action is energy, right? You may know exactly what needs to get done, but if you're feeling drained and exhausted, not just on a physical level of exhaustion, but also emotionally exhausted, you've hit, like, you and the team have been hitting this over and over and over again. We can't seem to move past this obstacle. That can end up being an energetic issue. And being able to bring meditation in during strategic points in the growth and momentum of a given organization can help open up what may be a roadblock and turn it into a springboard even for new growth.
That sounds like something that we could really, really, truly use right now, as so many businesses are looking at the way they've done things in the past and what's happening now and going, how, I'm feeling badly. I'm worried about the world. I'm worried about my business. I'm worried about my clients. I'm worried about my employees. And, and so energetically, if we're speaking that way, there's this disconnect to, and now I'm supposed to grow my business. So how do we bring these together? And I'm not even sure if this is the money block, or what would you say here?
Mm-hmm. Well, it absolutely can manifest as a money block for sure. So what can happen though, I mean, especially in what you just exemplified right there, this is amazing how you did that. I'm worried about. There's a ton of your focus and your force behind your action, the force behind your focus going into generating more worry rather than generating solutions. And this is okay. It's normal, natural. We're not taking a crap on worry, but like, here's the thing. It can drain your creative and productive energy, right?
And
Your
that of
capacity for it. Totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so bringing in meditation strategically, I mean, in the work that I do with, entrepreneurs and organizations, we set up structures to make sure that you're bringing in meditation at the times that we've seen tend to create the most energetic blockage. You mentioned money blocks. In organizations, you can tell that the energy of that organization is either low or stagnant because the sales are stagnating, right? The opt-ins or the conversions are stagnating. That having that thumb on the pulse of your people, feeling that connection to, yes, we're clicked in, we're understand. If there's a disconnect in a way that there's like je ne sais quoi, we can't exactly explain it. Like the numbers should be working, right? But it could be more of an energetic block, and the money will reflect that. I'm so grateful about working with entrepreneurs and business owners because we can look at the money and see how it is responding to their energetic work. It's incredible.
Absolutely. I want to just put a shout out because I've been working with you for a while, and you've attended the Momentum Live retreat, and being able to use the strategic meditation to tap into your natural intuition, tap into perhaps knowing and understanding that that's not on the tip of your tongue, and then using that to do the strategic planning that we do during the retreat. So if folks are intrigued and they'd like to know a little bit more, how can they reach out to you, Victoria?
Oh, I would love to talk to them. So they can head on over to victoriawhitfield.com/contact, which you have so deliciously put on the bottom of the screen. And we can have a chat, see where your head is at, see what's coming up for you around what's the problem in your organization or in your business's growth. We can really integrate strategic meditation to make sure that we convert that problem into your springboard.
I love that, and I love how powerful that methodology is. Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.